Ben Hartley is obsessed with baseball. So, when the pandemic hit, the out-of-work actor decided to combine his love of baseball with acting. He created a podcast and called it Crackerjack. Every week, Hartley and a guest discuss a baseball movie they watched beforehand. He records the podcast from his apartment in Charlottetown.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Walking down the long hallway to Hartley's apartment, you wouldn't think he was a sports guy. His brown, shaggy hair, scruffy beard, and skinny jeans make him look more like a coffee shop than a baseball diamond.
We are in my apartment, which I guess you could call a home studio. And this is the setup. I decided to invest in my future, so I spent $35 on this microphone online. But yeah, I'm about to interview a friend of mine to talk about the softball episode of The Simpsons. Yeah, it'll be, I think, the 5th episode of the season.
The idea for the podcast came naturally to him.
Basically, I was watching A League of Their Own one night.
Are you crying? No. Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
And I was like, man, I could talk about this movie for hours. And then I started thinking about like how many baseball movies there are out there. Mm-hmm. And how few of them I've seen, which is weird because I'm such a colossal baseball fan. And so I was like, well, I need an excuse to watch all these movies, and then I want to talk about them with people. And I was like, well, okay. That seems like easily combined set of ingredients.
You could say the podcast is about comedy first and baseball second.
like I think honestly, I personally believe that the better the movie, the more boring the podcast is going to be. That's like if we could just like get on and like make fun of the movie, I think that'll be a lot more interesting to listen to. Because I don't write anything for my podcast, I just kind of like let it be what it is. Mm-hmm. And I guess it comes from like my improv comedy background too, of like I enjoy the feeling of not having planned anything and of like trying to like come up with something in the moment. Mm-hmm. However, the trade-off for that is that sometimes it sounds like it wasn't written.
He feels like there's a link between baseball and acting.
I think that's the sport that it becomes closest to being theater. There's something about baseball that just allows for storytelling. Like I said, like the Yankees are the bad guys and everyone else are the good guys. And that's just something that has been embraced by every baseball fan. Even Yankees fans know that the Yankees are the bad guys, and they love it.
If you want to catch the next episode of Crackerjack, follow them on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to another episode of Crackerjack, dear listeners. I hope you've been well in the week since I spoke to you last.
Alex MacIsaac, Holland College, Journalism and Communications.
For a very good episode of television.